Hi, I'm SIOBHAN Gardner and I'm your Miss Voluptuous Scotland 2021 and you are watching PPJ podcast.
Hey everyone, it's Adrian from the Pageant Project. Chloe, how's that song going in your head? You're liking our intro? It's an earworm song, and Chloe can't forget about it. That song doesn't actually have a name. I actually have that song specifically for myself. Maybe I should give it a name. Chloe, what would you name that song? And don't call it the Pageant Project song. Thank you for that.
Very catchy.
Yeah, how do you spell that? Our special guest for tonight's proceedings is SIOBHAN Gardner. I finally get to say the word SIOBHAN and show that I can pronounce it. Who is Miss Voluptuous Scotland. The thing that, because we've had Natalie Carley on, your director, and she said no one can say voluptuous. I was fine with it. But now that I've heard her say that no one can say it,
voluptuous.
Every time I go to say
it's more like
I now get nervous. It's Voluptuous. It's a weird word.
Yeah.
But SIOBHAN, welcome to the show. How are you going?
You. Yeah, no, I'm really good. It's a pleasure to be here and see you all. But yeah, no, I'm really good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, we're all good. Thank you so much for being here.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
So it's been a busy week for Adrian, hasn't it?
I'm just telling SIOBHAN, you've only been on a minute. That, you know, when you say it's a pleasure, wait till the end of the show.
I know, I might change my mind by the end.
Just drop out.
In about 5 minutes, you'll be experiencing technical difficulties and you're like, gone.
We're not on airplane mode.
Chloe says it's been a busy week. To what are you referring to, Miss Davies? Why has it been?
Well, 2 busy weeks for you, introducing podcasts and being busy and
busy little bee.
Yeah,
it has been rather manic. I feel for once on this show I've actually got a lot that I could talk about, but
yes,
I can't even remember. We missed last week because that was Easter God. Okay, so in the last couple of weeks, just to recap, since we've seen you last, and if you have any questions for SIOBHAN, comments or questions, put them in the comments. You guys, we've had Easter, eaten our body weights in chocolate. My clocks have gone back. Your guys' clocks have moved forward, so it's now 6 a.m. for me versus 8 a.m., which is why I look like this. Danielle has a house, is getting a house.
Yeah.
Chloe has been vaccinated. Like 2 weeks, a lot has happened. So why don't we start with, we'll go with Danielle, Chloe, and then we'll go to our guest. So Danielle, why don't you catch us up on the last 2 weeks? Because I feel a lot has happened.
Yeah, what hasn't happened? So me and my other half have been looking for houses for a while. And we found a bungalow, would you believe? We were not intentionally looking for a bungalow, and usually we're not at the normal age of people that will be buying a bungalow, but we just fell in love with it. It's just really, really beautiful, and it combines both of our tastes. He likes a new build that's easy to just move into. I like old period houses that have character. So there's definitely a fusion there because it's just newly renovated bungalow. It's from the 1960s, but it's all been newly renovated, but it's still got original floorings and it's got a log burner. So I'm very, very happy. And I've already made a home account a bit prematurely. It's at Barry Bungalow, if anyone wants to check it out. Obviously, it's very, very soon. We haven't exchanged yet. I just got very excited and wanted to create a home account. We've been brainstorming decor because it's a 3-bed bungalow. We're turning, because we don't really want to have a guest room because it just won't get used, especially during this time right now. So we are going to make a walk-in wardrobe, of course, and a home office as well. So I'll be filming potentially in my closet, or I'll be filming in the home office.
You'll be in your closet. That's a turn of phrase. So you get to move all all your clothes from your dad's attic to your walk-in wardrobe.
Yeah.
I feel like there's going to be one of those episodes of Sex and the City where she goes into a place and she opens up the wardrobe and you can literally like have a glass of champagne in there. Well, no, we've had a couple of people on who have very impressive wardrobes, which is probably no surprise. One of the ladies, Serena, over from the States, she has an air-conditioned storage unit for her shoes. Like literally just for her shoes.
No way.
Yeah.
No, I mean, to be fair, she worked for McDougall, I think it was, and then she left there and worked for another pageant clothing brand. So, discount pageant clothes. Who's going to say no to that? Danielle, congratulations. You're growing up.
Thank you. Finally.
It's about time. Yeah, don't get old too quickly on us. Don't get all sensible.
Well, I'm already starting to think I want to take up gardening.
Well, no, that makes sense for you because you do all the volunteer work with gardening. So that makes sense.
But I want to have like my own little vegetable patch, even though my other half doesn't eat vegetables, but I eat vegetables and I want to have green fingers.
Well, if you grow vegetables, you might actually be tempted to eat them because they do taste different when you grow them at home.
We'll see. It's a work in progress. Let's not delve into his snack drawer again.
Hide them in his food.
Yeah.
Puree them into his food. It's like what you have to do with children.
We'll get it in there.
Oh dear. All right. Well, that's Danielle. Chloe, you've had your Pfizer vaccine.
Pfizer. Yeah. So I actually got my vaccine on Friday, which is so exciting because I can't encourage people enough to get the vaccine because it is so important that we protect others around us. I have an 83-year-old nana with dementia that lives with me, so it's really important that I stay safe, especially now that I got the new job in an office. We just can't take any risks. We can't take any chances. And I just feel so happy and more comfortable now that I have it and safe that I'm protecting my nana. So that's amazing. My only weird thing was on Saturday, I just felt really unwell. The doctors did say on Friday, if you do get symptoms, it's a good thing because it means that the vaccine is working because you're developing like antibodies, I think she said.
Yeah.
But basically I had a fever. I was just really, really sweaty and my temperature was high on Saturday. I had a very sore neck, a very sore back. I felt like my spine was hurting when I was in my bed on Saturday night and I had a really bad headache. But on Sunday evening, like I came around to myself and I felt great. I feel great now. It was just like a 24 to 48 hour kind of thing. But yeah, I feel great now and it's so worth it. Like just to know that I could be potentially protected from COVID it's a huge step. And yeah, I'm excited for everything to start opening and everything to start getting back to normal. We're not quite there yet here. We haven't actually opened up anything yet in Northern Ireland. I think the announcement is on the 14th. Or what day is it today?
12th.
It's the 12th for you guys. 13th.
Yeah, I think it's the 14th or 15th. I think it might be Thursday or Friday that we get like an announcement to find out, what our next steps are. But it'll be exciting to see, everything getting back to normality.
I saw that a few people posting up about things opening again today, I think it was. I mean, I see them today, but for you guys, it's yes. Like I saw Marcy talking about gyms opening again. Marcy, who was our first guest on when Chloe came on as a host, and Gordon Ramsay said all the restaurants are opening today. So is something opening or has something just opened as of this week?
In England.
In England, yeah.
I'm in
England,
Wales.
right.
So our gyms won't open until mid-May, unfortunately. So sucks to be in Wales right now for me. But we've had hairdressers open for the past 2-3 weeks. So it's just strange. The difference in rules is a bit crazy.
Yeah.
And
what's it been like in
hairdressers is so much more.
Sorry. What's that, sorry?
What's happening in Scotland in terms of the gyms and hairdressers?
our hairdressers are open, thank God. So I think everything else opens on the 26th of April. We've not got any like restaurants or gyms or anything like that open at the moment. So hopefully 26th of April we'll be allowed to have a bit of freedom with a bit of luck.
So it sounds like, yeah, it sounds like each one of the countries is in a completely different.
Yeah, I think
which
we're a couple of weeks behind you guys, Danny, in terms of everything.
It's weird because obviously we've been ahead of England. We've been ahead of England with the hairdressers and the salons, but England's ahead of us for the gyms because we don't open
the restaurants. I think,
and the restaurants.
I don't understand this anymore.
All I know is that there was massive queues outside of Primark today, and anyone.
I heard that.
Why on earth would you want to go to Primark and queue? The queues were like 3 to 4 hours long. People would
apparently they were opening. They were starting queues at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Ridiculous. If there's a third lockdown or another spike, I'm holding Primark solely responsible because there was about 800 people in a Primark. You can't have a wedding with more than like 15 people, but you can have 800 people down at a Primark queue.
Yep. I agree.
Why was there a queue at Primark? Everyone's yeah, I was going to say, shut up. I was going to say, it's what is it? Panic buying, is it?
Do you know what it is? Right. So I said this last year. So it's the thought of not being able to go into the actual shop. So when they open, it's like, oh, what are they selling? Like, I want to see what.
It's the cheap socks and panties.
Yeah. So
I've been spending like £7 for a pair of socks on these.
Well, I'll go for a browse because I've not been able to do anything like that. So, yeah.
But it can't be enjoyable. There's no way that I would queue. I don't go to Primark at the best of times because I'm a bit of a snob. But I would not even. I would not even wait outside a designer store of a place that I really, really wanted for that long.
I'm not a fan of queuing.
I wouldn't even wait out in Tesco's if I was hungry for that long.
Neither.
What would you queue for, Danny? There must be something you would queue for.
I mean, I've waited like up to 3 hours to queue for a ride at Alton Towers, but I think that's kind of normal. But in terms of like for a shop, you can just go another time, or you just go to the other shop, or I don't know. I don't know.
You were waiting for a ride at what?
Like Alton Towers, like a theme park, or at like Disney World, or that's normal for a waiting time to be for. You just have a chat in the queue and you make friends in the queue. Whereas,
where is this Towers thing? Because I'm not going to talk about. Pleasure
Beach?
Okay, let's forget that.
No,
but is this?
You
where
had
is
to
this
bring
one?
up Pleasure Beach.
I know. Am I missing something?
Well,
he thinks the next.
Siobhan, it's look. I didn't know what Pleasure Beach was. Right?
Okay.
I'm not
break it down.
I'm not from the UK, and then someone said they were going to Pleasure Beach, and I was like. I thought this was a pageant interview. Yeah, it's one of those things I feel awkward asking about because, what you do in your spare time is your business.
Got the Pleasure Beach.
Now I know what it is, but I just can't quite get over the fact, like, really? You called a place where children like to go and you called it Pleasure Beach. I'm just, no. But where is this other place? I mean, how many theme parks are there in the UK?
There's quite a few. We've got Alton Towers, Chessington, Legoland,
Drayton Manor, which just closed down.
We had Camelot, which is now closed down because that's the one next to the Park Hall Hotel. That was called Camelot, right? The haunted.
I saw that.
The haunted.
Well, that was very dead when we went there.
Yeah,
that didn't look like anyone should be in there. That looked like Chernobyl in there. That looked horrible.
What else? I think there's like a few down in Cornwall and Devon. Yeah, I think we said Thorpe Park. Thorpe
There's
Park in
like one in Scotland. M&D's.
M&D's.
Yeah.
Wow. There's so many. I still want to go to Tato Park.
Tato.
That's the one that I know. I want to go to Tato Park mainly to have Tatos. Okay,
Alton Towers
so
is my fave.
Yeah, Alton Towers is the
Where's
best.
that?
The OG.
Yeah.
It's
Where's
Yeah,
I
I
would
go there
really
with my
like to go
dad
to
a
Thorpe
lot.
Park. I've never been there.
Thorpe Park's pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah.
Go Fright Night. You have to go during Halloween.
Oh, I'm not into scary stuff.
You know,
I
they
love
pay
Halloween.
they pay actors to
I hate
jump
folk
out and
chase.
scare
Oh
you.
no! I hate
I
folk
love
chasing me.
that.
No.
Halloween's the best time of the year.
Yeah, I can't deal
it's
with
Chloe's
people
favorite night
chasing
of the
or
year.
yeah.
100%.
I don't know
Okay,
what I'd do if like an actor jumped out at me dressed all scary. I think probably my
I know.
instant reaction, like I'm from the ghetto, right? I will probably punch someone.
The ghetto.
I already
It's
know what
just
I'm
an
doing for
instinct.
Halloween
I'd be
this
like,
year.
I don't
What you-
honestly, I really don't know what I would do.
what are you
There
gonna
was
do for
a-
Halloween?
There's a
Have you
there's
ever saw-
not a theme park. Hang on, there's a what do you call it? There's like an indoor. It's kind of like an indoor thing, but you know, like laser tag and things like that. It's an arcade games. There's a place like this near me, well, near the airport, and in one of the things you can do is laser tag, and I think the employees get really bored because obviously you would just hanging around dealing with snot-nosed kids, but the employees, you go in there, it's completely dark, and what they like to do is suddenly jump out at you when it's completely in the dark and you're trying to shoot everyone and you're trying to avoid being shot. And the idea is, I can see Siobhan. Siobhan. Is
I'd
it
be
Siobhan or
freaking out.
Siobhan?
Siobhan.
Siobhan. Yeah. The idea is that they scare people and they find it funny because they're really bored, as I said. So he jumped out. I wasn't there. He jumped out at my friend, scared her half to death, thought it was really funny. And then he made the mistake of jumping out at me. At Danny, I bring this up because Danny says you probably punched them. I had that reaction because I don't like people jumping out at me. I mean, one time my mom woke me up by shaking me and I punched her in the face. It's just what I do.
Victoria did that as well, didn't she?
Yeah, because her mum tried to scare her in the shower and she ended up punching her in the face. So this guy, I think that's the last time he ever decided jumping out and scaring people was a good idea. And then because he was on the floor and I was standing over the top of him and I was just like, well, you won't be doing that again, will you? It's not my fault.
Awkward.
He's the one that not for me. I thought it was hilarious. It's like, oh, that went well for you. Anyway, just before we get too carried away. So Danielle's got a house. Chloe has had her vaccine. Siobhan, why don't you catch us up with, why don't you tell us about how you got into pageantry, the whole story, try and compress it as best you can, how you got into pageants.
It's actually quite a short story, to be fair.
Okay, go for it.
So I don't need to compress it too much. So I entered pageantry 2 years ago. I had just recently split up from my ex-husband, and it was more really for a confidence boost. So I did a couple of pageants, did Miss British Beauty Curve, and I placed third runner-up, which was my very first pageant. I think I entered like 3 weeks before the final. Didn't have I knew nothing. And do you know what I actually said?
The first one's always a write-off.
But I said to Natalie, and I was like, I've never actually been to watch a pageant. Like, never watched one.
You've always been in them.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm dying for the world to open up so I can actually go and see a pageant. Anyway, so then I entered Miss International Curve and I came first runner-up. And I kind of wanted to find a pageant that suited me. One that was going international, one that was all about, empowering women, volunteering, and, and that's when I came across Miss V, and I applied, and here I am.
How does it feel now that you've got a crown on your head?
Honestly, it feels amazing. I don't want to take it off. Yeah, no, it's really, really good, and I'm so glad that I got picked for Miss V Scotland. So yeah, and I'm so excited for Nashville. I can't wait. Obviously it's the first time that Miss V's went international, so I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, I hope we're able to go.
I'm looking forward to it
When is the
too.
international?
I know it's 24th of October.
Tennessee? Is that where it is?
Yeah.
You're the only 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, honestly. I actually cannot wait, and as well, I haven't actually met any of the other Miss V girls in person.
Yeah.
So I'm like dying to
Yeah.
meet them all, because obviously we get on really, really well. So I just want to meet everybody.
Yeah, I think
You'll be
everyone's
trading the
going to be
tippy
a
tops
bit.
then for cowgirl bits.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we've already like one of the girls actually sent a denim jacket that was like tassels and sparkles, and I was like, oh my god, we still need to buy that.
So cute.
Yeah, I know. But the itinerary that
do,
Natalie's planned, it looks really good. So yeah.
Is that line dancing? Do they do line dancing in Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nashville.
And
I
I
really
love
want to
country
go
music.
there.
Oh, like I'm obsessed with
well,
country music.
Of course. Yeah, well, then you're going to the perfect place, aren't you? Natalie's
Yeah, I'll
picked
just
the
stay
perfect
there.
place to hold her international. Yeah, you won't be coming home. You'll just
No.
stay there the whole time.
You just
Yeah.
stay there. You'll meet a
It is good fun,
cowboy.
though.
I know. I will need a cowboy.
Country music, line dancing, Tennessee whiskey. It's a
Yeah.
love song made in heaven, a love match made in heaven.
It totally
well,
is.
that's amazing. So let me just back up here. So Rachel here has said, hello, ladies, and Adrian. Hope you're having a lovely week. Another lovely Scottish queen on the podcast. And then Layla here has asked, all right, so this is for you, Siobhan. What are your plans for the year you have with your title?
So first of all, I really, as I said, want the world to open up so I can actually meet the other Miss V Queens. You know, I want to do a lot within my community to do with Bliss, which is actually part of my platform, because obviously I don't know if you are aware, but I had a little boy at 26 weeks. So he was really, really premature. He was only £2.6. And Bliss actually volunteer in the hospital. They help parents with children in the neonatal. So yeah, it's kind of like I want to kind of do work with them and fundraise with them. So yeah, and obviously prepare to go to Nashville, and then obviously hand over in January.
That's such a worthy cause, and it's one that's not really spoken about a lot in the pageant world. It's kind of untouched ground at the moment, so it's such an amazing platform to have.
And I always say, because I did actually suffer really bad postnatal depression and post-traumatic stress, because the year he was actually born, he nearly died on Christmas Day with sepsis. So it was like horrific, really, really bad. So I just want to show people that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Like, you know, you can go through all that and you can still actually achieve what you want to achieve. And, you know, so yeah.
I can't imagine what it's like.
You're an amazing woman.
Have
it was
sort of
tough.
panic stations on Christmas Day of all days.
Yeah, really, really
would
tough.
Be closed as well.
Oh,
and
it was horrible.
busy off enjoying themselves, probably got their phones off. So that would have been.
It really wasn't good.
How old is your little one now, Siobhan?
He's 3.5 now. He does have cerebral palsy. So the first day that he was born, he had seizures, which affected, going all technical, so it affected the white matter in his brain, which then led to the cerebral palsy. So he's not mobile, but he's a bit delayed in his speech and development. But yeah, he's getting there. But he's the most amazing wee boy ever, honestly. He's been through hell and back, and you know, he just takes everything in his stride. He's like the happiest wee person ever. So yeah, he's adorable. And obviously I'm not being biased. He is adorable.
Well, you're biased, but as you should be, as his mother. I've worked with kids that have disabilities. I worked with, as a tennis coach, I worked with a couple that had Down syndrome, as an example, and they're always the happiest. I mean, life has given them every reason to be upset and miserable, and maybe that's just an adult thing, but they're always the happiest kids to have around. They just light up the room. There's never a problem for them. Everything is great. Everything is upside. Totally.
And you know, he's never fazed by anything. I mean, we have like appointments coming out our ears, you know, and he just does it, and you know. But yeah, he does get frustrated sometimes not being able to walk. But yeah,
can understand.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
like totally understandable. But that's amazing.
And he's so heavy. So heavy. I need
Why
to
is
get
he
back
so
to the gym.
heavy?
Yeah. Oh, he's nearly 3 stone. So she's trying to carry him everywhere. I need to get back to the gym to build muscles up.
Oh, bless him. You won't need to go to the gym soon. You got to wait.
I know.
Oh.
Honestly. Yeah.
Can someone convert stone to something else for me? Because people keep talking about stone,
So-
and I have no idea how much a stone weight is.
The last time he got weighed, do you know kilos? Yeah,
Yes.
so he's nearly 17 kilos.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah. Stones, it's like I have no idea. Kilos, I get. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, yep.
My American friends always laugh at me for saying stone as well. It's just, I think it's like a UK
Well, I know
thing.
pounds.
Yeah.
Why are there pounds and stones?
I don't know.
I don't
We just
know.
always say stone.
We always say stone, yeah.
Don't you guys ever think
It's a
about
British
this? I mean,
thing.
there's metric, which is kilos. Then there's the imperial, which is pounds, and 2.2 pounds to a kilo. So I know that. And then out of nowhere, I weigh X number of stones. I'm like, what sort of stones? Big stones? Small stones?
One
Well,
that's,
that's what I
14
mean.
pounds.
Yeah, it is so random, isn't it?
It's just, we've just got
Yeah.
our own little system going on over here.
Like we got our stone.
Do you guys use gallons or liters?
Liters.
Yeah.
You
we
use
are.
liters.
Yeah, liters.
Okay. Do you use fluid like ounces or milliliters?
Milliliters.
No.
But you use stone. I'm so confused. You use some metric and you
yeah.
use some imperial just to throw the Aussie off.
I mean,
I
I
swear
think
to God, it's
I think we use
just
all of
to
them,
throw
to be
me off.
fair. Like, some people measure themselves in pounds.
Oh, great.
And some people
Yeah.
measure in, I think ask like the
PT is what my
electrical
PT
scales.
would use. Yeah.
Pounds. Well, you guys measure your height you tend to go imperial. You're always like 5 foot something. You don't say centimeters. So I've always got to do the backwards
Unless
maths on
you're at
that.
a modelling agency, then they use centimeters.
hmm
Because, why not? I mean, when you're a model, you've got to use centimeters because you wouldn't want to use inches. Oh, God. All right, let's get into an argument. Pre-mark. Rachel, I don't care anymore,
Pre-mark.
okay?
No.
I don't care if it's
Yay!
pre-mark. I don't
Cry.
care if it's Primark. I just don't care anymore. Moving on to the question. Siobhan, what are you most looking forward to in your pageant journey? I mean,
Well,
we
do you
already
know
said
what?
Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee, and I actually cannot wait to meet everybody. That's what really I'm most looking forward to. Like, I just want to meet the other queens and, be nice, give them a little hug when we can, instead of like, an elbow. So yeah, that's Nashville, and obviously meeting everybody. Because I've not even met Natalie. I've spoke to her on the phone like loads. I've
She's
not
not a
met
real
her
person. She doesn't
I
exist.
know.
No.
She's just a
I feel
figment
like-
of your imagination.
Like,
Yeah.
Natalie's like one of my closest like pageant friends, and I still haven't met her in real life, and it's surreal to me.
You
I
haven't
know.
met her in real life.
No.
Seriously? I thought
Really?
you had.
Yeah. Well, I
She's
think
like
we've been-
Charlie from Charlie's Angels.
We've been at events together, but we've never like spoken. I'm pretty sure. I know that our paths have
Wow,
definitely
okay.
crossed, but we just haven't. But we got really friendly during like the second lockdown,
Mm-hmm.
and we just vibed. And now thinking about it, that's so crazy that I haven't met her. But we have been in a lockdown for over a year now, so
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And Siobhan said you've never actually been to a pageant. You've competed, but you've never
No.
seen one. So you probably are dying, as you said, to actually meet
like
some
I
of these
really-
people in person.
But I really, really want to go and see what it's all about. Just like not
God.
feel the pressure of competing.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's
such
the
a
nice
weird
thing.
time.
I know.
With the whole pandemic thing and queens who've been crowned and have, as soon as they got crowned, we went into lockdown. I still kind of I'm still going to be awkward when it comes to actually seeing people in person again, like for real, because it's like some people I've never met. Chloe, for example.
You mean more awkward?
Yeah.
Well, don't know if that's possible. I mean, the whole elbow thing, I was really awkward about that because I always thought that if I did this, I was going to hit someone in the eye. And it would just be great for me to give a beauty pageant queen a black eye by hitting her with my elbow. But, well, I don't know. Everyone's getting the vaccine, hopefully. I think it's around 60% at the UK at the moment. So hopefully we can actually see people in person soon.
Vaccination.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Although I do
imagination.
think Chloe might be a figment of my imagination because no one could dream her up. I refuse to believe Chloe is actually real.
Just crazy.
You are. And you guys are going into summer as well. This is the other thing I forgot to mention. So I'm now very envious because we just had a cold snap here.
I mean,
So I'm
our
freezing.
summer is probably like your winter, so don't be too jealous now.
It's probably still warmer here than it is for you, but I'm just
Yeah,
looking at you
it
guys
will
and you're
be.
starting to tan and wear summer clothes, and I'm like, oh,
That's
I'm
the
so
this is all
sad.
fake.
Scottish
This is all
people
fake.
don't tan. You know, we very rarely get the sunshine.
Oh,
I know you guys. When it goes 20 degrees out, you're like, oh, let's put on bikinis and go to the beach, and then you come back
Pretty
looking
much,
like
yeah.
cooked
What do you mean
lobsters.
20? It's more like 15.
Yeah,
15,
It's like, oh my God, a bit of sun. It's like,
So-
let's get a bikini on out in the garden.
20's like factor 50 on.
Yeah.
15?
Yeah.
If it's 15,
50,
I'm probably
50,
15 out there
50.
now, and I'm complaining about how cold it is. It's not
Yeah.
right. 15 is just not right. You can't, I don't want to live at 15. Minimum 20.
I
That's
got
a
in my car
coolish
today
day.
and I was like, oh, I'm roasting, and it said 10 degrees.
No. Mm-mm.
It's like,
It's wrong.
that's crazy.
We had
Yeah.
we had another Scottish queen on recently, didn't we? And they said they'd never been to somewhere hotter. Or was that Rachel
Kiara.
that in the comment? Or Kiara.
No, Kiara.
The hottest place she'd been was France.
Yeah, and her mum was yelling at her, that's wrong, that's wrong. If you haven't been to anywhere that's properly warm, like I don't think Australia is that hot. I mean, in summer we can get hot. But if you go like somewhere like, I guess, Dubai or somewhere in the
Dubai,
tropics
yes,
that is just
Barbados.
chronically not only hot, because Dubai is quite dry, I think.
Dry
I'm
heat.
not
Oh,
yeah,
it's
but like if you
really
go to
dry.
Bali or somewhere or
Mhm.
anywhere Southeast Asia, it's not only
It's humid.
warm, it's muggy. Like you feel like you're sweating, well, you are sweating,
Vietnam.
but it never goes anywhere. So you're just always dripping,
Sticky.
dripping.
nice.
So I don't know how you guys would deal with that. You'd be dying, you poor things. I love it.
I did
Love the
actually
humidity.
go on
Hair.
I did actually go to Turkey one year, and during the day it
Oh,
was
yeah, that
50
can be really
degrees,
hot. It
and
can
then
get
at
really hot.
night it was 30, and you know it didn't do well for the hair. Not at all.
It's not good
When we
when
went,
you have air conditioning as well. It just dries out your skin completely
Yeah.
if you're sleeping with the air conditioning on.
Mhm.
Dislike. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chloe,
when
what were
we
you
went
saying?
to Vietnam, I was just going to say, when we went to Vietnam for Miss Grand International, we could just tell there was not going to be a blonde winner that year because every single one of us, our hairs were wild. Like even all our on stage pictures and everything, like our hairs just, I don't know what it was about being blonde, but the weather in Vietnam just did not take to the blonde hair, and all our hairs went wild. Crazy.
Any
think-
hairdressers able to tell us about that one?
I think
that
'cause when
happened? That's
you-
weird.
When you use peroxide in your hair, you're damaging it. You're making it drier. It's less able to hold on to moisture.
Mhm.
So it goes like, I don't know.
It was so
Does it?
funny. Even
What
if
about
So maybe
there's
natural
like
blondes?
pictures of
Maybe it's
me,
like grabbing
Meg.
moisture from the air, being like,
Yeah, because there's pictures of me, Meg, Amy, like pictures that we would have liked to use, but we can't use them because our hair is crazy.
so instead of
Did you
being like
guys know
smooth
that,
and sleek.
Blonde
Okay.
is a recessive gene. So eventually there are going to be no actual blondes because it's
And
recessive.
redheads.
So
Oh, Nadia.
all the fun colours.
It's rare.
Well, all these things that we've got to catch up on. So Nadia is still in preparation for Miss Universe Ireland. She's been super busy. And she seems to be doing really well. I checked in with her the other day. Whilst we were off air, Giselle Ace won Miss Eco International, which is just hilarious. I was like, I hope you do well. I was messaging her, and then she was busy, so she couldn't message back. And then it's like, oh, she won the whole thing. Like, okay.
I watched it live and I just
Yeah.
screamed.
Well, she's still in Egypt at the moment. I was just messaging her this morning, and they extended their stay to do some sightseeing, but now they can't find a flight back. So at the moment, Giselle's actually stuck in Egypt, waiting to get a flight back to South Africa. So Giselle, hope you get a flight back soon, so we can have you back on the podcast. and I will try not to show you any spiders. And Chloe will try not to have scream. Is that scream behind me? That's the one phrase that Chloe is
That was
famous for.
a good accent.
That was Halloween. Yeah, Siobhan probably wouldn't want to come
Yeah,
on,
I mean,
on
no,
our
your
Halloween
impression-
podcast.
No.
Quite decent.
My
there.
impression, the tonality, is that scream behind me? The voice is a little bit lower. Okay, let's get into this. Rachel said, remind me never to scare you, Danny. Okay, there you go. Kev has said there is a song called Tennessee Whiskey. Yes, Kev, that's why I said Tennessee Whiskey. That is one of the songs that our Miss World Australia, Sarah Marshke, she's a professional singer, well, working to be, but she's famous for getting lyrics wrong. She doesn't learn the lyrics. She just makes them up on the spot. I asked her about this, and I think there's a line in it that says something about your glass of warm something, and she said she thought it was a glass of warm eggs. Like completely wrong. And she's a professional singer, but she just doesn't bother to learn the lyrics. So yeah. Ellie has said, hey, hello, Ellie. Ariana has said, hey, ladies. Hello, Ariana.
Hello, Ariana.
Kev has said, I weigh 20 stone, which is about 126 kilos. So a stone is about 6 kilos. Okay. All right. I'll forget that. Rachel said, I can't wait to get back to everything too. I miss even going to the Little Glitz pageants. Next event in my calendar is Pageant Girl UK week when I compete. When is, anyone know when Pageant Girl UK is on?
Oh my god, it's going to be like a
Is it
crazy
October?
week. No, it's in
That's
July.
Miss Teen.
Yeah.
Oh,
In July, and
July.
you've got Pageant
that's
Girl,
soon.
Pageant Miss
Miss
Pageant Girl, and
International.
Team Pageant Girl, Miss International. Then you've also got UK's National Miss as well in that
They're all the same
entire
kind of weekend,
week,
yeah.
squished into one, and it's the week before I fly to Galaxy. So I'm tempted to just book like a month off of work because
Is that the Power Pageant now? Is that the because it's got international?
yeah.
Okay. What used to be the Power Pageant?
Not going to be the Power Pageant. It's because the Power Pageant they did it all in one night, whereas this is like pageants, separate pageants on different days, but all.
Why don't they call it
and
the Power Weekend?
That sounds like a
Power
self-development
pageant.
seminar.
Power.
The Power Weekend. You too can achieve your dreams.
Who got the power? I got the
You know the
that was our dance.
have any of you actually ever broken a board?
Yeah, I've broken 2.
A wooden board? Okay.
No.
You know the thing with that is that there is a trick to it. Do you know the trick, Danny?
And they push back, obviously, on the board to.
No, not that. There's actually a particular type of wood they use.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it easy to break?
Yeah, so
It's a
the
dense
problem
wood.
is it's easy to break along a certain plane because it literally is like the wood goes one way, the grain. So the thing is, if you hold it the right way, it breaks.
If you're
If you don't hold it the right way, it will never break.
You've got a sore
and
hand.
the poor person feels like they just not, they feel like they're not enough because they couldn't break their plank. But also, it's not just any wood. There's a particular type of wood. So there's this famous video of this guy trying to break wood over his head. And he's trying to do a little motivational speech. And he's just saying, it's about the power of the mind. And if you believe in yourself enough, you can achieve anything. And I'm now going to prove this by breaking this wooden plank.
And he held it the wrong way?
No, he used
It's got the wrong type of wood.
Right?
Wrong type
it's
of wood.
this kind of wood that bends and never breaks. So imagine that I'm him, right? And he starts it and he goes, bang, right? And it bends, it doesn't break. And he goes, well, it didn't break. And that's obviously because I didn't believe in myself enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it again. And he just commences to repeatedly sconce himself over the head again and again. And by the end of the video, he's gone because he's down to here. It's like he's literally made himself shorter by repeatedly hitting himself over the head with this plank of wood that does. I think he eventually broke it, but he went viral because it was so funny. But that's the story with those planks, the wood breaking. There's actually a trick to it, just so you know. Sorry if I've
I don't think I'm going to try it.
No, it's
if
pretty
you do it
easy.
the right way, if you do it the right way, kids can break it. You can break it with your head. You can break it with a punch. You can break it with your foot. But if you hold it the wrong way, it'd be like hitting a brick wall. It's not going to go anywhere. So,
you have to hit
you
through
go.
the board. You have to visualize through So you're not like the person that's holding it, you're kind of almost going to hit them instead of hitting the board, because if you stop your hand before the board,
Yeah.
You're not
you
following
stop
Go all the
yourself.
way
You're not
through.
exactly. You got to follow through. This is the
Yeah.
one time.
Yeah.
This is the one time they want you to follow through.
You joke about that, but I almost did hit the guy in the chest when I was doing that
Yeah.
because I went so far through
have
it.
to
So it's
wear
like, well, you told me
goggles.
to follow through. Yeah.
In case the splinters and all that.
Yeah. I
Oh,
prefer
sounds
the fire
dangerous.
walking. For
Yeah.
me, the fire walking is more exciting. I like the fire walking.
I did
I've
a
seen
fire
people
walk as well.
walking on broken glass. That's
Yeah,
what I don't want to
no.
do. But the fire walking, that's a neat party trick, and it's really, really exciting.
Looking
Layla
forward to
has-
seeing that.
Oh, sure. Just, when I come with the UK, just
Yeah.
give me some hot coals.
I'll
and,
get I'll put some in my garden.
Okay.
Bonfire.
Fine.
Get them to walk over
Yeah.
the bonfire.
Yeah.
It was properly hot. I mean, Danny, you probably done it at the same event that I did. But when you go next to it, because they light the fire in the middle of the day and they show you it, and it is a bonfire. And then by the end of the night, it's died down, but it's not gotten any cooler. It goes black
Still
because
glowing.
it's ash, and you've got the glowing red coals. It's really, really hot, though. I can't describe it. You
can feel the
within
heat on your
10 or 20
face.
feet of it, you just feel this ambient heat, like you're going into an oven, and then you walk across it, which is great. It's good fun.
Crazy.
Chloe, you've got a worried look on your face.
Yeah, she's like, I don't
Does it
wanna
hurt?
do it. No, you don't even feel it. I
What?
don't feel it.
I'm shorter. Every time I do a firewalk, I get shorter by a few inches, Chloe. Let's put it that way.
I got a funny story about that. So,
Did you think it was sore, Adrian?
Huh?
Did you think it was sore?
No, I didn't get anything. No, it's all good. Danny, what's your story about it?
So the funny thing is, I did it at the Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within, and I went to this with my ex, who had obviously one leg and he had a prosthetic, and he had to he wanted to walk over the coals, but then we were
But you
like,
can't.
is it gonna melt his foot?
Yeah.
Fine in the end, but yeah, that was quite funny.
Did
'Cause
he do
I
it?
completely forgot he did it, and he was just like, "Oh, I don't think my foot melted." And he had to take his leg off and check his foot, but it didn't melt, luckily.
That's that's
But
a
they
new
must
one. I've
have-
never thought of that one.
Could you imagine because what there is? There's so many people at this event. You just step up and they get you ready. They talk to you. They get you in the zone, and then you walk across. They must have seen him come up and been like, okay, go.
No, I think because he's done so many, he would have seen everything. So I've never thought of that one. They did have one person who was in a wheelchair, and what ended up happening was they carried that person over.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't go over in a wheelchair, but I've never actually thought of that one before. That's crazy. What are we saying? Layla here has asked, what are you most looking forward to this year for all of you? Siobhan, why don't you take this one? I feel like you've been asked the same question 3 times, but you can give us a third different answer if you want.
Just to really, to be able to open up, socialise again, and actually just dress up and, see friends and, go back to not normal, but yeah, and obviously see a pageant. Yeah.
That'd be good fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
Chloe,
definitely.
what about yourself?
Who talking
Chloe.
to? Oh, Chloe.
Oh, I thought you said Danielle.
Yeah, Chloe sounds like Danielle. Chloe.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just excited to be able to start making plans again. I'm the kind of person that just loves to travel. I am never home for a long period of time before traveling somewhere. So just to be able to travel by even the end of the year, I'll be happy enough with that.
Danielle?
I think it's pretty obvious that I'm very excited to finally be going to Galaxy International in Chicago. So that is definitely something that I've been looking forward to for a very long, long time. But other than outside pageantry, I'm excited to move into my house, and I'm excited to actually meet my cousin's baby, who is going to be a year very soon, who I've never met.
Wow.
It's crazy, right? So I got family up in Nottingham, and obviously during this pandemic, we haven't been able to see family, and she gave birth during the pandemic, so I haven't been able to meet my cousin's baby. So I would just want to give him a squeeze, and he's got so big since he's he's not a newborn anymore.
Yeah,
I love a
it's been
newborn
over
cuddle.
a year now since we've been in lockdown. I know because Harriet Lane had her birthday, and it was her second birthday in lockdown. So that's when like when people are starting to have their second lockdown
I had
birthday.
2 as well.
You've had but your first one technically was just before, wasn't it?
Well, no, my birthday was a Wednesday and I was in lockdown that day, but I went out for a dairy Chinese a few days early before my birthday.
Yeah.
I love how it's not just a normal Chinese, it's a dairy Chinese.
No, it's because the Chineses in England are rubbish. They're not the same.
How are they different?
They're just better standard in dairy. Like, you're not going to get food poison.
I don't know where you've eaten.
I know.
In England.
Like, ones in Birmingham and stuff, they're not that great compared to dairy.
But that's Birmingham. But that is Birmingham.
Yeah.
Is a dairy Chinese different from a what is it? Is it the same?
Just a normal.
No,
it's just basically a normal Chinese, but she's had some bad experiences in England, I'm guessing.
Yeah. But no, a dairy Chinese is really good because even like when I went to Belfast and stuff for uni, the Chineses were rubbish compared to dairy. Like, we really do have the best.
Is it just one restaurant that you go to? And
no,
you go, this is the whole of dairy represented in this one good restaurant.
It's the dairy Chinese restaurant.
There actually is one. There's one restaurant that you can actually sit in. The rest is like takeaways, and they're all up to a good standard. But I actually went to that restaurant for my birthday, and it was very nice.
I'm not going to say anything, Chloe. We've had this discussion many times.
Yeah, we have.
I know you love your dairy Chinese.
Curry sauce.
Dairy Chinese. Yeah, we do curry sauce here
Chinese.
as well.
It's not Chinese. I'm just saying that.
No, it's definitely not Chinese. Real, it's not authentic, that's for sure.
No,
my whole life has been
I'm sure
a lie.
it tastes delicious. It doesn't sound healthy for you. It sounds delicious, but it ain't
Speaking
Chinese.
of not being healthy, you guys will never believe what I ate today.
Pringles.
What did you eat today?
So I had 2 McDonald's flatbreads this morning, a toffee nut latte, and then on my lunch break, I went to Guapo and got a big burrito bowl. And I was so stuffed in work that I had to unbutton my jeans button lying at my desk, like ready to pass out. Then my stepdad picks me up from work and takes me to KFC because my nana fancied a KFC to bring home. So we got a big bucket. Then I got home and I ate like lots of KFC, like 2 bits of chicken, like almost a full box of popcorn chickens, chips, and I had 2 gravies. And now I'm like sitting here with a food baby in my belly, and it was amazing.
Someone's obviously not in pageant prep mode.
To be fair, the burrito bowl doesn't sound too unhealthy.
Yeah, but there's like lots of cheese and stuff in it. So, oh yeah, it was huge. I love a good guapo. Guapo's good.
I thought when you popped on the podcast tonight, Chloe, I thought you were kind of lying back and looking a bit satisfied with yourself.
Yeah.
Now I know why. It's because
I'm
you
rubbing
yourself.
I'm rubbing my belly and everything. I am 100%. No regrets.
Well,
easing me into the working week.
Well, you're not easing yourself into your jeans. I hope it doesn't come back to haunt you tonight. Let's just say that. I hope it's all been good food, because otherwise it'll come back with a vengeance. Layla has said, Rachel, good luck. We'll be cheering you on. Kev, he said, when I shoot MUGB empowerment days, I've been hit with boards over the place and arrows. I've seen the arrows are ones you break on your neck. That's the only arrows I've seen people breaking.
I don't know if I could do that.
That one again is not. I just don't like the look of it. I'm sure I could do it, but I just don't want to. There's a trick to the broken glass. Basically, with the skin, it's more the sound of the glass. Yeah, you see, like firewalking, for some reason, I always wanted to do it. Whereas the arrow breaking against my neck or the glass on the foot, I just don't. I mean, maybe that means I should do it more because it scares me. But it's not only the scary; it's just like I don't like it. The boards I've done. but I didn't feel anything after I broke a board because I knew I could break the board. When you see an 80-year-old woman go in front of you and break the board and you're walking up next, you kind of know that you can do it too. And if you don't do it, then obviously you're just a giant fail. Kev has said, what Chinese have you had, Chloe? I'm thinking you went to the Big Wok in Birmingham, which isn't great.
It does
I had
ring a bell.
Cornish Chinese the other night. The satay chicken was unreal.
I can imagine it being good Chinese in Cornwall. I feel like everything would be fresh down that way.
Yeah.
Because you're around a lot of like farmland and stuff.
Nothing's good in Birmingham though. Like even if you go for something to eat, it's all
can't
pub
say
food everywhere.
things like that. You can't
I'm
just say
like
nothing
half
is good
Birmingham.
in Birmingham.
I can say whatever I want.
She's like,
Fair
in my
enough.
opinion.
You guys
Half of
just
my
hate
family
each
live
other in the
there.
UK.
Siobhan,
Right.
whereabouts?
I'm like,
Siobhan, where in Scotland are you?
I stay in Falkirk, which is
Oh,
between Glasgow and Edinburgh.
yes, because I
do
know
you
that
have nice Chinese food? Sorry.
We've got really good Chinese here.
I feel like food in general is just really good in Scotland.
Yeah, it's really good. And I've
That's
been
not
telling
what Gordon
Natalie to
Ramsay
use.
says.
Well,
Yeah, Freya was showing us these churros that looked amazing.
Oh
What was that
yeah,
again?
I was telling Natalie about chippy brown sauce.
chippy
Oh
brown
God,
sauce.
brown sauce.
I don't
Yeah,
like
but it's
brown
not
sauce.
Daddy's.
It's my
It's
pet
It's
Daddy's.
chippy
hate.
brown sauce. It's not normal brown sauce.
What is it?
Brown
Not
sauce
Daddy's
that's got a
brown
chip on
sauce.
its shoulder. Is that what it is?
No,
Chippy brown
so-
sauce.
It sounds horrible, but it's actually really, really good. So
No.
it's basically brown sauce, but it's vinegary brown sauce.
Oh,
It's really
Brown
nice.
sauce
So
was already vinegary, wasn't
Vinegary.
it?
I
Isn't
don't
No,
that
like
it's
basically
brown
like-
what it
sauce.
is?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why
It's like
I
something
hate
that's
it so
gone
much.
off in the bottle.
Yeah.
No. So chips with salt and loads of chippy brown sauce.
Oh, guys,
Really,
stop
really good.
putting liquids on
But
your
no,
chips.
no.
The chips go
Like, it's
soggy.
funny that you say- It's
I
funny
like a
that you
soggy
say
chip.
that it's I was just
Go,
gonna
Chloe,
say it's
go on.
funny that you say that it's different because I was actually having a Domino's in my sister's house last week, and I realized that one thing I cannot stand, and I've never been able to stand since I was a baby, like I hate it, I would never eat it, is barbecue sauce. I just think it tastes horrible. It tastes sweet. I just can't stand
Sweet.
it. But I quite like the Domino's barbecue sauce, but I don't get why. Like I like the Domino's barbecue pizza, but I hate barbecue sauce. And if I had anything else with barbecue sauce in it, then it's a big no-no. But I actually like the Domino's one, and I have no idea how. Like,
See, I'm the
Don't
opposite way
know.
round. I like barbecue sauce, like that you actually have
Yeah.
at barbecues and as a
Yeah.
sauce.
Yeah.
But
No,
I
I
do
can't
not
stand it.
like. I do not like the barbecue base that Domino's uses because it's really sweet, sickly sweet.
Yeah, I agree.
So maybe that's why you like
Well,
it because it's sweet.
Mhm.
Well, barbecue
no,
sauce
I hate barbecue because
is
it's sweet.
it's full of sugar. Barbecue sauce, I think, is like something like if you have a look at it, it's something ridiculous, like 40% sugar. It's basically sugar. That's more so than tomato sauce or ketchup. Well, I'm glad that we found. We're
I like
talking
the
about
Have you ever
food,
smokier.
smelled?
just for a change.
Have you
Keep it
ever
going.
smelled ketchup the next day? Because that same time I was
Oh.
staying at my sister's, my little niece and nephew were eating like ketchup with their pizza, and I was cleaning the dishes the next day, and I could not bear the smell of ketchup that had been lying on a plate overnight. I think that's probably the top in the top 5 worst smells that could turn your stomach.
It doesn't have a. I don't know what your ketchup is like,
Like
but it doesn't
tangy.
have a smell.
No, the
I mean,
next
it'll go.
day, it smells sugary. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it smells really sweet and sickening, and
Yeah.
it's just the next morning, the smell gets stronger. I don't know what it is.
I tell you what else smells disgusting the next day, and my other half he's had this in the neck a lot. When you order a Starbucks hot chocolate and you leave it on the side for a day, and you go to like because I recycle the cups, I rinse the cups out and recycle them.
Yeah.
Pouring that, I'm like, I literally gag every single time. I now refuse it. If you got a Starbucks cup in here,
No,
is there one behind the curtain?
no, I've been there.
You binned it, okay, good.
It's actually quite funny you say that. I actually went on holiday one time and I got a cocktail in a coconut and I thought it was so cute. I got all these pictures with this coconut and I left it in my room beside my table and I just kept smelling this horrible, horrible smell. And I was getting up and I was getting really angry every day. I was like, what is that smell? And I was like flinging things around the room, being like, I can't stay in this room anymore. I need to leave this room. I can't bear this horrible, horrible smell. I don't think I've ever smelled anything worse. And then I realized, like, a day or two later that this horrible smell is coming from this coconut. And I'm like, how did I not notice that that smell was coming from that coconut? So I was like waking up every morning really, really angry, like throwing things around me, being like, where, like, what is that? Is there something in my suitcase? Like, I had no idea
So I'm peeling
where
it
this
again.
smell was coming.
Uh, what
You
sort
know,
of
it was
what
a
of
coconut.
cocktail was it?
I can't remember. It was just one of the ones they sell when you're on holiday. You would buy it. The people selling like coconuts with cocktails in it. But I drank the cocktail. I just left the coconut on my bedside table and didn't realize it was there. And I was like smelling this horrible smell and I didn't know why. It's almost as bad as the time I went into town one day with my sister and I bought a new phone. And do you know when you get a new phone, like especially when you're a kid, I think I was like 11 at the time, you like to keep the little car from warehouse bag and like you just keep everything because you're like, wow, I got a new phone and it's such a big deal when you're a kid. Well, after I got my new phone, me and my sister went into Marks and Spencer and my sister got some cheese for her boyfriend and we both completely forgot that she put the cheese in with my phone after she bought it. She just was like, oh, instead of buying a bag, I'll just put it, in with your phone. And like same story again. I started smelling this horrible smell in my room and it was so bad. I remember like sleeping in with one of my other sisters because I couldn't bear the smell. And I was like crying and being like, I can't deal with that horrible smell in my room. And I was like having a mini meltdown until I then realized that my sister had left her boyfriend's cheese in my bag with my phone. And I don't know how she didn't notice it, or I didn't notice it, or he didn't ask for his cheese, but I don't know. So yeah, horrible
How
smell.
long?
Horrible.
How long did you have that cheese?
I think it was like 2 weeks. No, it's probably
Oh.
more. It was probably
You
like
said
3 or 4.
2 years.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
And my room was really hot as well, so it was horrible.
Oh no.
No,
Just,
cheese. Cheese has a very strong
it was like this
smell.
special cheese.
Was it like a brie? Because there are like literally
Yeah.
smelly cheeses.
Yeah,
So the idea
it
is
was
that they
a
smell
smelly
and you're
cheese.
supposed to. Yeah, but when they
Yeah,
go
you could
slightly
only-
off, because up here near where, well, not maybe an hour and a half north of me, there's a Hunter Valley winery, and you go there and it's great wine and it's great cheese. It's also where I got Danielle's mystery gin from. And there's a cheese shop up there. It's called the Smelly Cheese Shop. So you go in there and it smells like cheese, but it's a nice cheese smell because it's obviously all fresh. But my friend got truffle cheese. Now, because she loved truffle. Now, if you know anything about truffle, it has a very strong smell, and some people really don't like it. And she put it in the glove box of my car. Bear in mind, it was hot. Now, when I say hot, I'm talking like more than 30 degrees, not the 15 degrees that Siobhan was talking about. Properly hot. And then she left it in there, and I forgot about it. And the next day I went to have a car wash. And in the car wash, you have to turn your car off and everything is blocked in. And I almost died because of the smell in the car wash, and you can't get out because you're in a car wash. That was disgusting. That might be one of the worst smells I've ever had. Like truffle.
Yeah.
Truffle cheese.
Yeah,
and I
that
had to
cheese
clean
in
it
my
out
room
of my
was.
glove box as well because it had melted. It never
My
comes
sister
out.
still laughs about it.
No, if you've got a car and if you spill milk on the seat or into the carpet, that's the worst because then it begins to smell. And no matter what you do, you can't get it out. I know people. No, I know people who've actually sold their cars because they've spilt something in it and they can't get the smell out of it, out of the carpet.
Well, on a Valentine's
How did we get onto
Day,
bad smells?
On Valentine's Day, we had a lobster dinner from my favourite Italian restaurant, and he didn't realise that they weren't sealed up properly. And he drives a bit like a maniac, and
the lobster was swimming around in the back seat.
And basically, there was lobster juice all over his
Oh,
costume.
oh,
And does the costume smell
No.
like lobster?
oh no.
He gets
That's
wafts of
bad.
lobster every now and then. Yeah,
No,
we
that's
probably need to
bad.
get that cleaned out.
No,
Yeah.
seafood going
That's
bad is
so
probably
funny.
even worse than cheese.
Mhm.
Like off fishy smell in your car.
Yeah,
That's
no.
not.
Mm.
Mm,
No,
I
especially
would
not
need to sell my
ideal.
car if that was the case.
Yeah, no.
I
Yeah.
couldn't.
I would
I think
burn
we're
it.
gonna need to get
Do that.
that. We're gonna need to get that cleaned professionally.
Yeah, no. Forget a new house, get a new car. Rachel here has said, Chloe, what is your new job? Because Rachel's starting a new office job too. Also, I miss Pageant Land even more after this. I need Danny cuddles. What's a Danny cuddle?
A
God's
warm
sakes.
embrace.
So I
Chloe?
work at the I work at the billing section for small businesses at BT Enterprise.
E.T.
It's quite boring,
Jeff
really.
has said, talking of food, Danny, when we do MUGB later in the year, I will bring a box of proper Cornish pasties.
I need like veggie one though, because I don't eat meat, do I? That's fine.
I think you
I
can
do-
get veggie ones fairly easily, can't you? I think I've seen
You can get
vegetarian
like.
Cornish
I
pasties.
feel like I've seen a lot of like cheese.
What is a
and
Cornish
onion
pasty?
ones.
So, I'll show you.
You don't know what a Cornish pasty is?
Is it
It's
a
like-
I'll show
pastry?
you.
Yeah, it's a pastry, and in there, they usually use beef. That's the traditional one, and it has potatoes and vegetables
Onions, I
like
think,
peas,
and-
onions and peas.
It's so weird because I hate pastry. I hate things like that. Pies, anything with pastry. But just before I was leaving Tesco, I just got this really weird obsession with vanilla creams. And for someone who's always hated pastry, like all of a sudden I just liked vanilla creams. I still hate other forms of pastry and pies and anything else with pastry in it, but I just love vanilla creams. Weird. Kind of like custard and cream fingers. I hate custard, but I love custard inside the cream finger, like the kind of
They're like thicker,
like
aren't they?
solid
It's a thicker
custard. Yeah, like
Oh, I
thick,
get that.
cold custard.
I feel that people in the UK have very, not odd tastes, but you guys definitely know what you like, but then you equally seem to know what you hate. I don't think I've met many people
Yeah.
from the UK who just will kind of eat everything. Everyone
I
seems
am.
to have.
Apart from pastry.
Well, no, you just also mentioned custard. You also said you can't
Yeah,
eat
custard and
Pringles.
pastry.
There's more. The
Yeah.
longer I know you, Chloe, the longer the list of things that you can't stand
Dude,
gets.
I eat.
So
I
I
eat
would
most
actually
things. If
classify
someone
you
cooked
as a
dinner and put
relatively
it in
picky eater.
No,
A relatively
if
picky
someone
eater.
made
You
me
don't do
dinner,
English roasts because they don't have enough potato. So there's
No,
and
I
you
would
don't
still
want
eat it.
normal Chinese because it's too dry. So there's actually quite a few things that you won't eat. Compared to me,
No,
I will
I-
literally eat pretty much
I will
anything
try
unless it's moving.
anything. I just,
Mm.
yeah.
but you don't
I
like
no,
it.
I would try.
You
I'd
see,
eat it
UK
anyway.
people seem to be quite picky. Maybe it's just the people I've
No.
met.
I'm not picky. I just make
You're
sure
the
not
exception.
to eat meat.
You're
I
the
just
only
don't eat
person that
meat.
I've met who isn't picky. Everyone else seems to have very
I'm
specific
not
things that
picky.
set them off.
Yeah, I would say I'm
You
picky.
get,
You
Oh
pick
no,
Pleasure.
I do hate Pringles.
What don't you like?
see?
What things that you like? Nah.
I'm not really a very big fish eater.
okay.
Yeah, that's probably the
No
main.
fish.
I don't like mushrooms.
I love a
know.
mushroom.
I don't like olives.
Oh, I love olives.
Oh,
Yeah.
I used to hate olives, but now I love olives.
No.
did you ever see
yeah,
the video
loads-
of Gail Plappy? I'm like, I love olives.
no. But apparently olives are an acquired taste. So I think as you grow older, not saying you're
Yes.
old, but as you grow older, like your your palate
I am.
develops, and
She
apparently
is. It's okay. We're older now than when we started this
Yeah.
podcast. Let's put it that way.
So yeah, so I don't know.
I think I hated olives when I was at uni. And I remember I was so poor that when I went to Tesco, all I used to buy was stuff from like the reduced counter.
Mm.
And I
and there was
remember
always olives in it.
there was olives on there and they were like something ridiculous, like 3p. And I was just like, I don't like olives. And I was with my housemate who's also very broke at the time. She was like, I don't like olives either. She's like, do you want to start liking olives? She's like, I heard that if you try something like 28 times or something, few times, you then start to like it. So we got home, we had one each, and we were like, oh no, no, no. And then like a few minutes passed, and we were like, do you want to try it? Do you want to try it again, just to see if we definitely don't like it? We had another one, and then we started getting addicted to like the salt hit, because they're so salty. And then after a few weeks, we were both addicted to olives.
I put lots of salt on everything. And it's so strange, but I hate.
That's another thing. That's another thing I've noticed about UK people and American people. Sometimes they don't even taste the food, and they get the salt shaker, and they're literally this. They haven't even tasted it.
But I can tell something's not going to be.
It's really unhealthy for you, blood pressure, but also the more salt you have, the less you can taste. It's kind of like a drug. So the more salt you have, the more salt you need, until basically every time food doesn't have taste unless you get the salt shaker and do this. Whereas I grew up with quite unsalty food. So for me, if I have that, like I ate some UK pub food afterwards, it kept me up the whole night because my mouth was so dry from the salt.
Yeah. Got absolutely nothing to do with the gin. Adrian.
Well, come on. Don't out me like
throw you out under the bus.
It wasn't a gin that time. It was I probably had a Guinness. I was trying to fit in. I was trying to fit in England by having an Irish beer. Actually, now that I think of it, yeah, good job me. All right, let's begin to wrap this up. Otherwise, we will be a lot older before we finish. Kevin said I was shooting once at a derelict mansion, shooting a model. I'm assuming with a camera, not with a gun. Shooting a model, and I stepped back and stood on pint carton of milk. It wouldn't even be foot jeans. It stunk. The best before date was December 27, but didn't know what year. My trainers were straight under the shaft. That's a new one. I haven't heard of something like that happening to a photographer before, Kev. I have heard a lot about photographers falling over and falling into waves and trying to get into weird positions, but stepping in milk, that's a weird one. Olivia McPake, food is life. Yes. Adrian. Yes, it is. Kev said Chloe seems food high maintenance. She definitely does, Kev. But she'll never admit it. And I bet you she will get really cross if we mention it, because you can hear she's beginning to squeal. So we'll just move on.
Anything.
Ha ha ha, Chloe. Kyle was listening and just said that lassie isn't kidding. She eats for Britain.
I do, non-stop.
Good. Oh dear.
Oh, God.
Okay, let's wrap this up. Rachel said, I'm a very picky eater. I'm one of those people who goes to McDonald's and orders everything plain. And a Denny cuddle is just a cuddle from Danielle. She's the best cuddles. How can you go to... What does plain mean in McDonald's? I mean, McDonald's
is means no salad cream flavoured sauce.
No sauce, no lettuce, maybe. I don't know.
No gherkin.
I told you.
No gherkin.
People in the UK are so picky.
I only like it on a bit. But I can't just pick up a gherkin and eat it. It's got to be just on a McDonald's burger.
Oh, but you know what? The ones on McDonald's burgers, although I haven't had them for a very long time, they taste so different to a gherkin that you get in a jar. They just, I don't know, maybe they're more preserved.
Like good or bad. Yeah. Like
better. They taste
I think it's because they're sweeter. Different. They don't have that tang. Yeah. I think they got more sugar in them.
Yeah. They're sweet.
I mean,
and because you have the little onion chutney with it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The buns that they have in McDonald's, they have so much sugar in them, in the buns, that if they had I think if they just had a little bit more sugar in them, they would actually be classified as sweets. That's how much sugar there is in the bun of a McDonald's burger.
The ones on the Filet-O-Fish as well, they're very sweet because they're brioche bun.
Yeah, they always look like plastic.
Yeah, they're shiny. I'm always like, it's your skincare secret. Right there, Chloe.
You want to look like a McDonald's bun, do you?
They're so smooth. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with looking like a McDonald's bun. As long as it ain't the seeded one.
Oh dear. This is what happens when we're on for a week. We just get even weirder than usual.
What are you? An idiot sandwich chef? Have you seen that with Gordon Ramsay? When he puts 2 pieces of bread next to his head and goes, what are you? An idiot sandwich.
An idiot sandwich.
There are all these people There's all these people on TikTok at the moment that tag Gordon Ramsay in their cooking
Yeah.
things, and he responds to some of them, and most of them are jokes. But there's like this one guy who made chicken tartare, like raw chicken,
Oh no.
Mm.
and then there was this one guy who made some sort of, I think it was a roast with an outside covered in lollies, like the popping lollies, like popping candy.
Cotton candy.
And you know what Gordon Ramsay is like, he was losing his head. And then there's one made by Scott. No, Iron Brew. Someone did something in Iron Brew, and I said, this is crazy. And then Freya said that she'd try it, and Freya Taylor tried it, and she said it was really nice. Made like a marinade or a glaze out of Iron Brew. And I'm like, oh,
Mm.
don't know about that.
Sounds quite nice.
I'm not a fan of Iron Brew.
Oh,
Oh,
heresy.
you even
What?
You can't say that.
traitor.
I know.
Even I know that. You can't say you don't like Iron Brew. You'll be shot.
They were like,
I know.
Um,
You're in the
have
wrong
to slum it
country.
in Ireland.
Yeah, I'm not a
Dear
fan.
me. Okay. All right. Let us hold it there because we've been on for a minute. Siobhan, thank you so much for coming on as our guest.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hope we didn't scare you too much.
No,
and-
not at all.
No, well, we haven't done our job then. And thank you to Danielle and Chloe Food High Maintenance Davies as well for their time.
I
Chloe,
am not.
shush, Chloe. It's okay. It's just
Even-
funny because you react.
Olivia and
It's
Kyle
okay.
said that I can eat for a Britain, so that means I'm not picky. So, see,
Whatever you say. All right.
I'm not.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we will speak to you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Remember, Confessions is out. To get your copy from Amazon, head to shaw.b/confessionsbook, and I'll see you next time.